Half-Life Alyx wasn't quite the game many had been expecting when it was announced, but it more than proved itself upon launch. The thing is, Half-Life and VR is a marriage made in heaven, with the new platform giving the developers more space to innovate and try out new types of mechanics. Playing it is genuinely transformative as you peek from cover, manipulate objects from afar, and get into tense shootouts. Hopefully, Half-Life Alyx is ported onto more platforms sooner rather than later. It's easily the best FPS released in a long time, and the only thing holding it back is how difficult and expensive it can be to play. If you like your FPS games to be tense, tactical, and high-staked thirds, few better experiences than Escape from Tarkov. Thanks to regular updates that level the playing field, Escape from Tarkov is actually quite friendly to newcomers, if you get in at the right time, that is. It's extremely stressful, but a great time with friends. For fans of PUBG, Counter-Strike, and shooters that borrow from military sims, the modern Wolfenstein games really are absolute powerhouses when it comes to single-player FPS experiences. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, is particularly great, with a campaign that will leave you slack-jawed and mesmerized by the smart, wonderfully directed action at play. Once again, you'll blast your way through hordes of enemies using giant machinery and weapons to tear through levels based on an alternate version of history. To say the story is unique would be an understatement, so just know that over the course of its runtime, you'll laugh, cry, and question just what the hell you just watched. Dusk is quite special in the retro FPS space because it's much more than just a graphical callback. The game features stellar level design in gorgeous and creative environments, alongside a large cast of nightmarish enemies to blast back to the hells they crawled from. It comes highly recommended if you're looking for a super polished horror FPS experience that successfully marries design sensibilities both old and new. Halo Infinite gets a rough shake these days, mostly due to its questionable post-launch seasonal multiplayer content. Its campaign is well worth the price off entry, however, offering up a large sandbox map to fight your way through. The story is the best it's been in years, and when paired with the co-op functionality, gives players a chance to relive their glory days. If you're looking for an FPS that's a bit more classic feeling, Halo Infinite strikes the right balance. It has modern design sensibilities, including a grapple hook that allows for faster movement when compared to older Halo games. New maps have been added since launch too, and as it stands, Halo Infinite is now a very impressive FPS, with enough to keep you busy for months. Zombie horde shooter Left 4 Dead 2 is a testament to Valve's ability to consistently reinvent aspects of the shooter genre. In this exciting gem from 2009 that holds up effortlessly today, you push through carefully crafted gauntlet maps while an AI director places new zombie types, hordes, and items to challenge teams of 4 in a procedural fashion. Every round is unpredictable and full to the brim with a special kind of chaos, one that is only exacerbated in VS mode, where teams of 4 can face off against each other, swapping each round to play as the zombies and the humans. You're going to love Left 4 Dead 2, for its chaos mowing through hordes of enemies together with friends has yet to be done better. An excellent FPS for anyone who wants to do more than shoot. Superhot is a game where time moves when you move. This means that careful maneuvering and precision shots are of utmost importance, and the game consistently lobs intricate combat arenas at the player to test their reaction speed and the finer points of their FPS skills. This is all wrapped up in a simple but effective art style and an unexpectedly engrossing campaign that is far too good to spoil. Superhot is unique, stylish, and visceral, and it's a good game for those who get overwhelmed the faster and busier a shooter becomes. What's more, if you're lucky enough to own a virtual reality headset, you can check out Superhot VR, which ups the immersion and expertly transposes this puzzle shooter gem into the virtual realm, making it one of the best VR games If you're serious about accuracy and competition in games, then Counter-Strike 2 may be the game for you. It's an updated version of Counter-Strike featuring some major technical improvements. Given its predecessor's status as a great breeding ground for esports professionals, Counter-Strike 2 demands a level of skill and tactical know-how that is far beyond the more casual shooters in this list, and will certainly test your limits as an FPS. Even if you're not trying to be the next Shroud, squatting up with your friends, learning the maps, and concocting stealthy hero moments, unraveling an enemy team's composition with clever wallbangs and grenades is deeply satisfying, and something to try if you're bored of the mainstream shooters that constantly coddle the player. Counter-Strike 2 holds its reputation as one of the best FPS games, or at least the game a lot of people regularly return to. If you want to work on your aim, do it here. People have fallen in love with Titanfall 2 left and right because it fulfills one of those nerd dreams that video games are perfect for. It lets you get in the robot. As pilot Jack Cooper, you get to both control the Titan and venture out on your own. Stranded on an alien planet, it's your teamwork and problem-solving skills that will get you home. Titanfall doesn't only come recommended because it feels really good to stomp around in a Titan, but because you will also have a great time outside of it. Jack jumps from platform to platform, wall runs with the best of them, and generally adapts to any environmental puzzle quickly and with style. The Vel design in Titanfall 2 is fantastic, with ever-changing environments that are a joy to look at and explore. Following the successful reboot of the Doom franchise in 2006, ID Software doubles down on its pristine systems and satisfying shooting, drafting, and platforming to make the combat more fluid, a rogues gallery of deadly bosses, and an engrossing storyline. Doom Eternal is easily one of the best FPS games for the sheer rush it provides. It looks as great as it feels, providing a speed and impact that makes it feels downright satisfying, especially when you exploit an enemy's weak point. If you really want to take something apart, there is still no better game, and it even offers a good story to boot. Rainbow Six Siege has only gone from strength to strength since it launched all the way back in 2015. Nowadays, there's more than 70 operators to choose from, each offering a slightly different loadout and set of abilities. This level of variety really pairs brilliantly with the game's tense and tactical gameplay, as teams take turns attacking and defending objectives. While Rainbow Six Siege is more of a multiplayer shooter, its FPS mechanics are tight and precise, making it a must-try for fans of the genre. Generally, you can pick the game for cheap, or jump in during free weekends to get a taste. There's still new content being released every few months or so, making it a great investment for those that want to log into an FPS every day with the hope of perfecting their skill. Destiny 2 now features a frankly dizzying amount of content thanks to years and years of updates from Bungie, including 2024's excellent The Final Shape. Players have been coming back again and again to continue the story. It's a real achievement when you consider just how much has been added on top of the base game, with the base experience even being free to play these days. As an FPS, Destiny 2 is absolutely fantastic, providing a modernized version of what Bungie accomplished with the Halo series. Destiny 2 is a very different beast to the studio's early work, however, paving the way for games as a service and the rise of always evolving online experiences. Destiny 2 is one of the ones to really get this new model right, using post-launch updates to further an ongoing story and give players new reasons to play. Black Ops 6 is a real return to the form for the Call of Duty series after a real low with the previous year's entry. This time around, Treyarch has worked for 4 years on a game that features a whole new set of maps and new movement mechanics. Omni movement allows you to run in any direction, which is a real game changer. You can also dive in any direction, adding new flair to movement without making things too overpowered. There's zombies mode this time as well, with Black Ops 6 launching with 2 main maps and missions to work through. Since launch, Warzone has been integrated with some of the Black Ops 6 content, making things much more cohesive than they have been for a while. Hunt Showdown has only gone from strength to strength since it launched, and while it's definitely a much slower game than others on this list, it is an excellent blend of horror, stealth, and old-timey shooting. You and 2 others infiltrate an area with objectives to complete and main targets to hunt. Take them down, harvest their bounties, and then extract. Easy, right? Well, there's other teams trying to do the exact same thing, bringing a tense and brutal PvP element into the mix. As you move through the map, you'll need to balance firepower with how much sound you're making, set traps for other teams, and use special resources to triangulate their positions. If you'd rather, you can stay silent, waiting for others to kill the main monsters, and then ambushing them at an extraction zone. In Hunt Showdown, there's many ways to skin a beast, and it's an absolute blast to play alongside a good group of friends. Valorant takes heavy inspiration from Counter-Strike with a focus on tight, tactical first-person shooting, while carving out its own niche with a wide variety of characters to play as. These agents fall into 4 categories or roles: duelists, sentinels, initiators, and controllers, allowing you to make an impact on a match in a number of different ways. Over time, you'll unlock more and more agents, with over 25 unique characters now available, each with their own set of abilities and skills. In standard modes, you'll be attacking or defending a point, with all players starting with a simple sidearm. By performing well in a round, you can then spend currency awarded to purchase new weapons, with sniper rifles, semi-auto, rifles, and shotguns on offer. For the first Doom game on our list, we have Doom: The Dark Ages, a prequel that blends the demon slaying we all know and love with a more fantasy medieval setting. There's a shield this time around, with the Slayer feeling much more tanky than in his last outing. Things feel a lot more like the 2016 reboot, and for many, this will strike the right chord. Be warned, however, movement has been pared back significantly when compared to Doom Eternal, so might feel a bit slow to some. It turns out that the Doomslayer is right at home in a medieval setting, with new weapons that make use of chains, fire out bones as shrapnel, and send the shield flying between enemies. Oh, there's a rideable dragon too. Brilliant!